Thank you, sir. Sir, regarding immunity to MBS, don't you think it's a license to kill handed over to the head of states of different countries around the world, that you can kill anybody, anywhere, even here in the United States, because you have the immunity?
That is not what I would take away from this. This, again, to not sound like a broken record, but this has nothing to do with the merits of the case. And I will note that Secretary Blinken, President Biden, we have condemned the brutal murder of Jamal Khashoggi. The president raised this directly with the crown prince during his visit in July. He raised it with the king during his visit in July. And as I said, responding to Dylan, we are actively reevaluating the relationship with the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. I will also note that we have taken direct action as well. We have frozen offensive arms sales. Through the intelligence community, we released a report on Jamal Khashoggi's brutal killing. We have imposed visa bans on nearly 80 Saudi officials. We have sanctioned Saudi officials and entities, including the Royal Court's Rapid Intervention Force. And I will note, as I was responding to Matt, that this designation applies only to the Crown Prince and not to the others who are defendants in the case. This has nothing to do with the merits of the case.
Then normally, when any head of state is involved in the brutal murder or the killing of any person, they usually deal with this domestically, manipulating the system, buying the justice system is for sale in many countries. But they always have the fear of the international powers like United Nations or United States, who always raise voices for human rights, religious freedom, freedom of speech. But that fear, no more, is there.
Those values continue to be at the center of this administration, and they continue to be at the center of our foreign policy. I will reiterate again that this designation is unrelated to that, and it is rooted in the Crown Prince's role as the head of government, and it is rooted in a long-standing, well-established practice of applying these principles to heads of state, heads of government, and foreign ministers. That's what this is about. This is not a reflection on those issues. Those issues are important to President Biden, to Secretary Clinton, and Secretary Blinken, and they are at the cornerstone of our foreign policy. And again, this is not a reflection on the merits of the case or a reflection on our views on the events that were transpired. That was very clear in the statements that we've offered. It was very clear in the statements our colleagues at the White House and the National Security Council offered, and it was very clear from the legal filing as well.
This morning, John Kirby, in his press conference, admitted that relations between United States and Saudi Arabia are very tense. So it looks like to trim that tense level, United States granted immunity to MBS.
I cannot reiterate or find a different way to say this. This decision that was filed yesterday is not about the bilateral relationship or a reflection on the status of relations. It is a legal determination that flows from the Crown Prince's role as the head of government. It is not about the bilateral relationship, and I would agree with Admiral Kirby, and that is why the president in recent weeks has asked this administration and his team to reevaluate the relationship, and that is ongoing. That work is ongoing, and we're continuing to engage with our allies and partners. We're engaging with members of Congress. We're engaging with partners in the region, and that work remains ongoing.
So